Somewhere at the edge of the world, right at the shore where the heat of the Portuguese sun was cooled by the waters of the Atlantic Ocean, there once lived a beautiful girl named Lenora. L love, E unity, N hour, O one, R path, A activity, Ra light. And Lenora had a dream that the world around her would transform, that she would be needed in this transformation, and that everything would become more beautiful, more multifaceted, and bring her joy. Once, as usual, she went to swim in the ocean. Lenora was diving into the ocean, enjoying the coolness of its waters, releasing her emotional impulses. All aspects of nature supported her in this. The sun gave her the impulse of creativity, while the coolness of the water helped her not to burn out, guiding her into the balance of states. Everything is good in moderation, and nature itself was helping her find it. She dived and dived and dived, and then, having gone deep enough, her attention was drawn to something at the very bottom. Swimming toward what her eye was caught by, she discovered something that looked like a small sphere. It wasn't clear what it was exactly, but trusting her inner state, she took the godsend with her. At home, Lenora immediately immersed herself in her affairs and had left the ocean finding lying on the windowsill. And for a while, she forgot about it completely. During the time, the sun and the moon shone upon it, and what had once been wet on the surface slowly began to dry. One day, Lenora was looking out the window, and one of the rising sun rays suddenly reflected off the object and struck her straight in the eyes. Surprised, she began to trace where the shining was coming from, and noticed that a dense outer fragment had fallen away, revealing a pearlescent shimmering surface inside. She began examining it more closely and realized it was something intriguing, overgrown with remnants of marine life over time. She felt a desire to clean it and discover what it truly was, to understand the essence of this object. Not far from her house there lived a fisherman who was very kind and experienced. She decided to contact him to find out what it looks like and how it can be cleaned without causing damage. She had no idea that it could be the beginning of her dream coming true. Glancing at the object, the fisherman immediately understood what it was. With confidence, he said to Lenora, "So, this is a pearl! How lucky you are, girl, to have found such a treasure so close to the shore. Take it to Master Yar, he will help you." Lenora thanked the fisherman and pedaled her bicycle as fast as she could, racing into the heart of the town to find the artisan. The artisan's was closed. He lived not far from the town. Lenora headed there. It turned out that the artisan's son got ill. That is why he didn't go to the workshop and was waiting for the doctor, but there was still no doctor coming. Lenora had extensive experience in restoring her physical and mental health. It had already become her well-established skill. When she saw the boy, Lenora immediately sensed that it was just psychosomatic. She needed to talk to the little one. Your son didn't want to go to the kindergarten, and this triggered a physical reaction. His temperature rose. Lenora listened to him and offered to tell him a magical story. And this story helped the little boy see the situation differently. He relaxed, let his anxiety go off, the eternal conflict was cancelled, and his temperature began to drop. After this, Yar was very grateful to Lenora, and in gratitude told her how to clean the pearl without damaging it. Then the long-awaited doctor appeared at the door. Yar told him everything that had happened, and the doctor advised Lenora to engage herself seriously into this direction and disclose her potential. Inspired and happy, Lenora headed home. On the way, she had to stop at the store to pick up everything she needed to cleanse the pearl. It turned out that at the store there weren't all the components she needed. However, the clerk advised her how to make a cleansing solution with the help of pharmacy products and ocean water. Lenora thanked him and went to the pharmacy. There was a crush outside the pharmacy. A man felt unwell. Lenora made her way to the center of the action and saw that the man had fainted. Tuning into his feels, she determined that he needed something sweet. Someone among the people had sweet tea, and Lenora gave the man a couple of sips. He immediately felt better. His breathing evened out and consciousness returned. He explained how he'd been deeply upset because he'd lost his wallet with all his bank cards and money, and his emotions had taken a toll on him. The man thanked Lenora and told her she absolutely had to help people and that she had a gift. The crowd dispersed and Lenora bought everything she needed for the pearl at the pharmacy, while her confidence grew stronger that she truly could help others. At home, she unpacked all her purchases and went to the ocean to take water for the solution. As Lenore approached the water, she heard strange sounds that drew her attention and stirred her inner turmoil. As she approached closer, she discovered a woman's body washed ashore. Lenora leaped to her side. She was still alive but barely breathing. Lenora used all her strength to pull the woman's slim body all the way to the shore. She began performing artificial respiration, and oh, the joy of life! The woman came to and opened the eyes. Lenora helped her sit up, and she told her what had happened. A woman named Marina was floating on an air mattress. She wanted to be alone, away from the people. Drowsy from the sun, she fell asleep, and then a large wave flipped her mattress over. Startled awake and caught off guard, she couldn't free herself right away and almost drowned. Marina was deeply grateful, and the two young women began to talk sincerely. Lenora invited her to her home. They drank rose tea and ate peaches together. The next day, Lenora woke up and immediately began preparing a solution for the pearl. The process of cleansing had begun. Almost imperceptibly, she started to realize that cleansing the pearl was the very beginning of her dream coming true. It felt as if tiny sparkling particles of magic were floating in the air like in a fairy tale. Pure alchemy, she thought. The pearl revealed more and more of its beauty, and at last Lenora removed the final trace of dried residue and held out the fully cleansed pearl in her palms. It turned out to be quite large and incredibly beautiful. The cleansing process had taken the entire day, and feeling deeply satisfied, she went to bed. The joy she felt relaxed her so completely that she quickly drifted off to sleep. In her dream, she saw herself standing on the top of the mountain, feeling the boundlessness and lightness of the space around her. She reveled in this transcendent state. As she gazed toward the horizon, she noticed something approaching. It turned out to be a flying ship. It stopped beside her. From the deck, the captain looked at her. He saw her from the distance in the line of sight, observing the space. He was in a transcendent state, and something drew him toward her. He invited her to fly together. Surprisingly, they understood each other halfway. They flew through the entire night, and the dream was beautiful. With the first rays of the sun, Lenora awoke in a state of deep harmony, realizing that her inner masculine and feminine had come into balance. This realization gave her a powerful impulse to act decisively, and at that very moment, seeing the pearl shining, she was struck with insight. She needed to create a project through which she could share the truth of the universe with people. People in the town and the nearby villages were already talking about her, and they began coming to her home for advice. Lenora gladly helped each of them. Every person left the house sincerely grateful. And the next morning, a new pearl would appear inside the first one. As time passed, Lenora had whole strands of pearls formed. In such a way, the sincere gratitude of people transformed into pearls. That was how her world revealed abundance to her. She exchanged her pearls for the things that interested her and that she needed. She always had more than enough. Her dream had come true. Lenora rejoiced in life. Her world was beautiful, multifaceted, and harmonious in all its expressions. Pure, unconditional love for the world sustained this process of transformation endlessly.